Steve Salvia here, pumped to be doing this session with you today. Put a lot of thought into this session, I really have, and I can't wait to share the results with you. I've had some really good results with an email campaign that we sent out a little while ago, about a month or so ago. Fantastic results, and I've doctored up a version for us to follow the framework so that you can use a similar sort of thing for you as well. I've done a whole heap of work so that you don't have to do any or as much anyway. So really pumped to show you that today. If you just joined the party, guys, a few people just jumped on the call. So hey guys, welcome. Really glad you're here. A couple of newbies on the call today, so welcome to you guys. Really happy to have you guys here. Susan, Daryl, James, glad you made it in. Absolutely fantastic. And welcome to the rest of you guys as well, all my Blackwing posse. Welcome back, guys. Really, thank you so much for supporting what we do, supporting each other. And it means a lot to me with the interaction that you guys have and communication in the Facebook group. So I know I keep harping on about it. That's because I want us to be talking to each other more and more. I want us to create a Blackwing family as opposed to just a place where you go every now and then. So please jump in, and thanks so much for you guys who do contribute there as well. I've got to say, it does inspire me when you guys interact with each other. So really cool. Just quickly, I just wanted to just a quick reminder about the fortnightly Sherp. So first and third Tuesday afternoon. Not compulsory, but jump on the Sherp if you've got any questions that you're not sure of, or anything you want me to look at, or you're halfway through something and you want to get a bit of direction, or you want me to just put my sort of eyeballs over something and help you tweak up a little bit, tweak, hone and refine. That's what we talk about. Just get that email to us and a little bit early so I can sort of run my eye over it. That'll be sweet. Also, the design service, guys. Heaps of people getting some pretty cool stuff designed at the moment, and we've got a lot in the system as well right now. So we're trying our best to cope with all of that, but Tony's got that in hand, and so have our guys and ninjas over in the Philippines. So yeah, keep them coming in, guys. The better quality we've got out in the marketplace, the more professional you look, and the better outcome you're going to get from your marketing as well. So you know where to go. Go into the web page, the Facebook, the Facebook member site. Hit the design tab and download, and just let us know what you want, and we'll see if we can accommodate it well for you. Hey guys, the summit in Sydney got some good numbers. We've got a lot of people actually book flights and travelling and all the rest of it, and book some hotels and stuff like that. So I can't wait to do that. But guys, I've got some bad news for you. I want you to know that your marketing database degrades by about 25%, 22 to 25% each and every year. Your contact emails, they change their email addresses, or they move from one employer to the other, and you lose the details. They opt out of your emails. They get rid of the old, the AOL addresses that they used to have when they filled out old forms or downloaded stuff from the past. Not only that, you just lose people at the bottom. It's as simple as that. And when you're losing people at the bottom of your database and you're not filling them from the top, what's happening is your list is going backwards. Okay, and the reality is, guys, it's dangerous. So as a financial planner and a marketer, guys, it's your job to make sure that you're consistently adding fresh new contacts to your marketing. We need to build your prospect list so you can keep your numbers moving up and also moving them to the right as well. So we want better quality and we want more of them. So if you're not doing it, if you're not doing fresh, interesting things to build your list, your communications are going to go stale, they'll fall on deaf ears, you'll get ignored because people get bored with the same old message from you. And that's what we're going to fix when you come to the Blackwing Profit Summit, the List Building Summit. Okay, Tuesday, 29th of March. It's in Sydney. It's at the AIA building, right in the middle of the CBD. We've been there before, had a couple of sessions there already. So guys, I want you there. If you can do it, if you can swing it, if there's any way you can get yourself there with the rest of the group, you're going to be in for an amazing day. I've got lots and lots planned. I'm going to teach you some new stuff. We're going to interact with each other, learn from each other, and there's some guys that are doing some really good things that I want to share with you as well. So it's our first National Insiders Summit, 29th of March, Tuesday, in Sydney. So really counting on getting as many of you guys in there as you can. Remember when I asked you if you would be open to it, you all said yes. Everyone in the room, 2 rooms, sorry, one in Perth and one in Sydney, everyone said yes. And I was kind of counting on that as well. So I'm hoping that everyone will find a way to get their backsides there. All right. So the links links in the Facebook page. Just go and have a look at the registration page. Check out what we're doing, and go from there. We're also doing we're having another day the following day, the profitable planet, which is our intensive day for the public, basically. So, guys, any of you, if you want to stay for the next day, you're more than welcome to come. In fact, I encourage you to come. I've taken a few things that I did when we first started in Coaching Club. I've tweaked them up and improved them, and I've also sort of made it a little bit easier to understand. So it'll be a really, really good updated refresher for you guys, but also just great for you to be in the room with me and supporting me, because I'll have some friendlies in the room, which would be awesome. And I also encourage you to bring any planners that you think might get some value out of spending a day with me as well. So you guys just hit up Tony if you want to come to that second day. It's going to be amazing. It's a brand new thing we haven't done before, so the format's going to be completely different. And yeah, you're more than welcome. No cost, you just turn up and be there, and we'll be amazing together. All right, so let's do this. So that's enough about that. Let's do this. So guys, in today's live training, I want to talk to you about email marketing and how to turn your communications into conversions. Because you know, the thing is that I reckon that the line between content and information, it's and marketing, it's all blurred, it's all fuzzy, right? There's so much that's sort of, yeah. It's so much so that it's getting really, really, really hard to tell what's what. You know, sometimes what looks like news is actually fiction, and what looks like fiction is actually news. And it's getting harder and harder and harder to tell every single day. And today I want to show you just a simple framework that'll help you get your content marketing exactly right. We're going to know what posture to have, how to say things, what you're trying to do behind the scenes, what the actual meaning to those words are, and I'm going to give you a simple framework to follow. You know, it's fun, and once you've got it down pat, your marketing actually becomes really easy, and it starts to flow straight out of you. You don't have to think; it just happens. It just falls out of you and into the framework, and you end up with some world-class marketing. So it's fantastic. Really, really simple. Only a few steps, and once you get it right, like I said, it rocks. So I can't wait to show you that in a minute. But here's the thing. The problem is that we've got, we know we've got to do content marketing, right? We've got to do marketing. We've got to do education-based marketing. You know, marketing's vital to your business. And you're either, one or two things at the moment, you're either not doing it, or what you're doing is poor. It doesn't work, and people aren't responding. You know, but the thing is, we know we've got to do it. It's vitally important, but it's really, really hard work. So, you know, you need to grow your financial planning business, but it's tough, and it's, you've got to identify, not only have you got to sort of figure out what you want to market, you've also got to create it as well. Okay, so there's some common problems that financial planners face. We all run into these same issues, and, you know, when you're trying to create killer marketing, it's really, really hard. When you're doing it on your own, the problem you've got is this. You know, you get writer's block. Have you ever had that before? Guys, I just want to know, I'm just going to clear the raise your hand button. Who's ever had writer's block before? Hey, I've got to get something out there. I know I need to do it, but I just don't know what to do, what to say, or how to do it, you know. And what happens is, you know you've got to write an email or a promotion, or you've got some lead magnet you want to get out there. You run it, you've got to get a blog out there, or record a video, send a newsletter, something. You know you've got to do something, but you get stuck. You know, for me, I find sort of pen and paper is where most of my ideas come from. I sort of get it out of my head, get it down on paper, I take a photo, send it to JD, she whips it up for me, and then we digitise it that way. But, you know, whether it's pen and paper or a computer screen, whatever it happens to be, when you're looking at a blank screen and that screen's staring back at you, it's teasing you, it's taunting you, it's, you know, it's there teasing you to try and get something out of you, but it just won't come. You've got no idea what to write, and the reality sets in that you've got writer's block. And you start writing, and it's not good enough, and you screw it up and you throw it in the bin, right? Ever been there before? Okay, and then we start again, but that's not good enough either. So we screw that up and throw that in the bin as well. We never get the momentum. We're always in overwhelm with thinking and writing at the same time, guys. I just want you to write this down. You're thinking and writing at the same time. Okay, so thinking first and writing second is the easiest way to fix this. Okay. If you think and write at the same time, you're asking too much of yourself. It's just too hard. So you're putting unnecessary obstacles in the way. And they just don't need to be there. So you get writer's block and you get stuck. Number two, what also happens is that when you've got writer's block and you get stuck, what happens is that you fall behind schedule. Right? You ever been there again? You know, you miss a week, or you miss a blog, or your newsletter gets postponed. Right? Who's ever had that before? Guys, again, raise your hand. Who's ever missed a deadline? I was going to get something out. I needed to get a newsletter out. Have you ever had that before? Just raise your hand and let me know. Yeah, right. Dude, I think every almost every hand has gone up there. Yeah, we've all done it before. You know, we've missed a deadline for something, or we've just let it go because we just didn't get around to doing the copy for it, or the newsletter, or the budget update, or whatever it happens to be. Yeah, is it tragic if it happens once? Well, no, not really. It's not tragic, but it's not ideal either. So if you fall behind, you know, 1 week slips into 2 weeks, then before you know it, 2 weeks turns into 3 weeks, and then the next thing it's been a month, and you find that you're way behind. You're back behind the game. You're back behind the ball again. You're pushing uphill. And number 3, the worst part is that, you know, here's the thing: you get caught out with writer's block, and you fall behind with your marketing and all your promotions and all that. Those first 2 things are really bad, but then what happens is you get what I call follow-up failure. So you fall behind with your marketing, and it's really bad. But you know, there's 2 bad things happen. Number 1, the first thing is internal. You feel guilt. You feel guilty. You feel bad about yourself because you've sort of done everything. You haven't done everything you needed to do. You needed to get it done. You just didn't get to do it. So you feel guilty. Number 1. But the second thing, it's external. You have what I call follow-up failure. You fail to follow up with your prospects. What happens is when you don't follow up or you don't communicate with your prospects, well, the answer's simple, guys. It's when your prospects aren't hearing from you, they're hearing from someone else. And when they're finally ready to take some action, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? When you're not there, someone else is talking to them and you're not, and when they're ready to jump at that right particular time, because it hasn't been constant and consistent, they move to someone else. They'll hire the financial planner that's been listening to them and that they've been receiving their stuff from. Not the financial planners they heard from 6 months ago, or you know, a little while back, or someone that just hasn't followed up. You know, that's what I mean by follow-up failure. Does that make sense? Just guys, yeah, I'm hoping that does. You know, I want you to get that really, really clear. If you're not talking to them, someone else is. Believe me. If it's not a financial planner, it's a bank, or it's an industry super fund, or it's someone else. Someone's in their face, and that's the person they're going to turn to. It's like I had a client when I first. You know, they first signed on with me and they said to me, Steve, you know what, I do great work, but it's like nobody hears me. I feel like I'm almost invisible. And that's how it feels. You know, that's what it's like, and I don't want that to be you. Okay? So that's the problem. And if that's the problem, here's the thing. You know, you get writer's block, it's hard work, you fall behind, your follow-ups fail, you feel guilty, and your prospects are hearing from someone else, and you become invisible. If that's the case, if that's the problem, well, the promise is actually, it's the exact opposite of that. If you get it right, you know, you've got some really good things coming your way. Number 1, when you get it right, you're creating amazing emails and contents and blogs for your marketing and all that. It looks totally different. It's so you know, today's focus is on emails, but it's the same principle. It works in all the other areas of your client attraction. Instead of getting writer's block, what we want to create flow, where you can really get into the moment. You get caught in it, you know. You smash out emails and communications. They're not only killer, but it falls out of you with ease. It just flows, okay? It's about, I want you to get into it. I want you to get it. I want it to become so easy where you just get into this state where you're completely engrossed in it, where everything becomes effortless and you're so deeply involved that you lose track of everything else because you're 100% immersed in what you're doing. You're loving it and the quality's coming out of you. It just falls out of you because it's got a framework to fall into. And I want that your marketing and your emails I want you the experience that you have. I just want it to be a thing that flows. It's not effort. It's not hard. It's extremely smooth. And you don't have to think too much, and you don't have to put that much effort in as well because you're so good at it. The other thing is I also want you to be ahead of the game. I want you to get in ahead. So so what we're going to do, we're not going to fall behind. We're actually going to get in advance. We're going to get stuff done beforehand. Okay, there's no falling behind in your world. In fact, we're not going to be on time. We're actually going to be early. We're never ever going to be behind the 8 ball with any of your marketing ever again. We're going to be well ahead of it. You'd be like the Wayne Gretzky. You see on the screen there, Wayne Gretzky there. He's one of the greatest ice hockey players of all time. He's one of, if not the greatest in history. And he famously said that the secret to his success was that he never skated to where the puck was. He was always one step ahead of it, and one step ahead of the game. And the only place he ever went to was where the puck was going to be, not just where it was right now. Okay, so he's actually ahead of the game. So when you're in advance in your business, you're actually in a place of leadership. Can you just jot that down, guys? When you're in advance, you're actually in leadership, and that's really important. We're not behind the 8 ball. We're not following. We're not scrambling to get stuff done. We're actually in a place of leadership. And instead of falling, you're failing to follow up, and you're becoming invisible in your marketplace, we actually create demand. You create this I need your help sort of response from your clients. That's what we want. People putting up their hand and saying, hey, I'm going under, I need you. Or, I've got another level I need to climb. I've got this mountain I've got to climb, but I'm not to the top yet. I need your help to get there. I need your help drag me up to the top of the mountain. Either way, they're putting their hand up and saying, I've been listening to you, and I've been watching what you've been sending out, and it's really, really interesting to me, and now is the time that I need you. I need you right now. I didn't before, but I need it now. And because you've been consistent and consistently sending stuff out to me, I'm ready to hire you right now. And that's where we want to be. Okay? And the outcome of that is if you're smashing your email marketing and your authority marketing, instead of being visible, you create a prospect pipeline. Pipeline of people that can say, I've been getting your stuff, like I said, I know what you're about, I know what you can do, I need your help now, I'm willing to wait in line to get it if I have to. I'm happy to wait in line for you, but I'm only going to work with you. That's why your email marketing, your client attraction stuff is so very, very important. So it's just your marketing in general. We've got to be ahead and it's got to be consistent. Okay, and in just a minute, I'm just going to show you a really simple framework you can use to get all the help you need with all your email, all your emails, all your content marketing to get it exactly right. All right, so they're my reasons, guys. So they're my reasons for wanting you to get good at email marketing and building your authority and building their need through, writing compelling emails. But what are your reasons? I'm really keen to know. I want to know from you. Why do you want to improve your client attraction through email marketing? How would that help you? Well, if you could write emails really easily, really quickly, and they were spot on point, on message every single time, how would you benefit from that? So guys, do me a favour, I just want you to jump into the question box there and just let me know why do you want to improve your email marketing and your client attraction through emails. I'd love to know from you. I'll give you 20 seconds or so. Just type into the question box for me and let's see what you think. Just grab a quick drink of water. Okay, all right, got something coming through. Great. All right, more people to talk to. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Save time. Get in front of more prospects. Exactly. Get better results from less time spent equals more money. Yeah, exactly. Better results, less time equals more money. Totally, exactly right. And better probably engagement too, there, Mark, as well. More clients, more work. Yes. I have people. I'd have people respond when I talk. James, absolutely so true. You ever had that, guys? Have you ever had that dreaded cricket sound, cricket noise come in the background? You send out some marketing or you do a blog and not one single person responds. You thought you had something really incredible, really useful, some great email, some sort of marketing or some sort of comment on Facebook or whatever it is, but no one even recognized it. So yeah, you feel good about yourself as well. We can build our list, as Steve and Craig. Thank you, guys. Susan says, if I could reach my clients effectively, I'm able to better help them with their pain. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. If we can get them to recognize their pain, because half the time, guys, they don't realize they've got that pain. It's only until someone, the right person with the right message, puts it in front of them, they say, hey, that's me. I have got that pain. I should do something about it. So absolutely. Make things more consistent. Thanks, Mike. Remove the stress of having to come up with new material all the time. Absolutely. Stack pain for sure. No cricket syndrome, says Mark. Says Paul. Thank you. Engagement dormant contacts and existing clients as well. Absolutely. You can do exactly the same sort of process with. So that's the beauty of when you do this right. It doesn't really matter who you're trying to target. It can be from your existing base. It could be out in the world as well, trying to get new people. But the principles are exactly the same. Okay, so yeah, really great answers, guys. That's good. They're all really, really relevant, and I think they're all correct. So I think you got it right on the money for sure. All right, guys, let's switch gears. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you 5 hot principles for this. I'm going to breeze through these ones fairly quickly, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the worksheet and we're going to go through each one of these 5 principles in detail, and we'll spend a little bit of time on them doing that. So I'm going to slide through. But what I'm going to do is give you 5 key principles to getting this absolutely right. It's 5 simple things. Simple ways you can do it. I want to just show you how to do this really, really, really well. And at the end, like I said, I'm going to show you a couple of tools that you can use to get this stuff done fast and get it done like a pro. Okay, so here we go. So here's five hot principles to mastering email marketing. Okay. So here's point number one. Point number one is this. I want you to master the basics. I think what we've got to do is just get back to basics for starters. Let's get the basics right, and then we can build from there. You know, guys, think about it. You think about it from this point of view. You know, how complicated can it be to write an email message? You know, it can't be that hard, right? I don't think it's that hard. You know, you think it's easy, so because you think it's easy, you just jot down or you type up some quick note and send it off. You know, the first thing that pops into your head, you type it up and you send that off as an email. And the reality is, most financial planners just don't take the time to think about what they're saying, the way they're saying it, and how the client is going to perceive it. What's it going to sound like when the client actually reads it or reads the headline or the first line? Because if they don't like what they see in the headline, it's just going to go straight past them, and it's actually going to get deleted. So they won't even read what you've got. So you might have all your awesome stuff down the bottom, but if you don't get them right at the start, they're going to delete you. So it's really, like I said, frankly, the reality is I just don't think many financial planners have actually ever written proper marketing emails. So they just don't know how to go about it. But when you pay attention to this stuff, guys, when you pay attention to some simple guidelines I'm going to show you today, what you're going to find is a huge difference in your email response and your response rate. Okay, that's what it's all about. We want a response. We want interaction. We don't want to stale. We don't want to sell insurance. We don't want to sell a strategy preparation fee or anything like that. All we're trying to do is elicit a response or solicit a response, if that's the word. Okay, so I think what we need to do is get back to basics. Number two, we've got to establish credibility. We need credibility. We've got to get it in your own mind, but we've got to get it in the client's mind as well. So the first the first way to do that, guys, is remember it's all about them. Okay, any talk about yourself, your wonderful company, your dazzling advice offer, the products that you do, what's going to happen is you're going to get deleted in a nanosecond. Okay, so you've got no time with this, okay? You've got a few seconds to capture their attention and establish some credibility. So we need to get that credibility, and we've got to get it really fast, okay? That means keeping the spotlight squarely on your prospect, okay? It means you know, it's important that this discussion is all about, and you know, really that's what these emails are, guys. The email's just a discussion. That's how we should be pitching it. We're not trying to teach them anything. It just should be a chat. It's a chat on email. That's effectively what we're trying to do. It's got to be all about them, you know. So we need to make sure that you know, everything that you're doing is peer-to-peer. Even if the person you're contacting is sort of a senior level executive, or they're a medical professional, or a specialist, or anything like that, and even if you're just starting your own business, okay. I want you to remember, we've talked about it before. Kings talk to kings. Okay, just jot that down, guys. Kings talk to kings. So if you can establish credibility with a king, they will talk to you. Okay, so I don't want you to be frightened about, oh, he's too high, or she's too high, or she's too experienced, or she's too old, or she's too wealthy, or they've got too much behind them. Kings talk to kings. Okay, so you need to position yourself just like you're a king, just like them. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, in Australia, guys, the thing, use first names, by the way, guys. Don't use Mrs. Smith or Dr. Benning. We sold our office on Wednesday, and I got an email from the settlement agent, and it said, "Dear Mr. Salvia," and it was just like, it was weird. And I know it was a young girl. It was the young receptionist there, just letting us know that the settlement was going through at 2 o'clock. "Dear Mr. Salvia," she called me, and it just kind of, I didn't think it was rude, but it just kind of put me off the second I read it. So, you know, we don't want to preface things like, you know, Mrs. Smith or Dr. Benning or something like that. You know, what we want to do is it's got to be like, we don't also like dear Pat or good morning Terry or things like that as well. It's just use first names. You don't do all of that stuff for your internal communication, so with your colleagues and stuff like that. So why would you do it with people out there in the world? I don't think people expect it, and I don't think we need to do it anymore. It might have been 10, 15 years ago, but not so much anymore. You'll notice most of even my formal emails that I send out to my client attraction with my marketing, it's always, "Hey John," or "Hi Fred," or "Hey Ann," or that sort of thing. It's never formal, it's never over the top, and it's amazing how you get much better response rate with that. Okay, so there's certain things we're going to talk about in a minute, ways to establish credibility. So number two, I want you to just establish some credibility. Remember that it's kings talking to kings. And you can talk to people like that at that level because you're one of them. So you don't have to say Mr. or Doctor or Sir, that sort of thing. Number three, sorry. I want you to, what I want you to do is actually, I want you to push hot buttons. Yeah, that's right. I want you to push some hot buttons. Okay. So the key to this, guys, it's to identify and to speak to the clients or the prospects' top problems and goals that they've got. Okay, so we want to find out what their hot buttons are. What are their top problems? And what are their top goals? So in other words, what are their frustrations and fears? And on the flip side, what are their goals and aspirations? What are their wants and aspirations? Okay, so we need to make that clear. So if you're thinking of doing some sort of email campaign, the very first thing that I want before you even get your screen, your email program up or a piece of pad and paper in your hand, I want you to grab your 4 forces worksheet. It's the first thing you do right at the very start. You know, there's 50 different things you could be talking about to them right now. Some of them are relevant, and some are really, really relevant, and some just have got much less relevance. Okay, so, you know, what I want you to do is I want you to identify what I call the key decision drivers. They're the hot buttons, the important things in their life, you know, and you've got to talk to those. So if you sort of spoke those words, you know, 80% of those prospects are like, they'd prick up their ears, their eyes get wide, they get really, really big, and they start salivating. If you were just talking about them and their hot buttons, their frustrations and fears and their wants and aspirations, if we were talking just about that, all of a sudden they'd be interested. You'd find 80% of people get interested in what you've got to say. And that's what we want. Okay, so we want people who are hot for what you've got. And the only way they're going to be hot for what you've got is if you talk about the things that they're interested in or the things that they need. Okay, don't talk about you, your business, what you can do, how you do it, how big your business is, how many awards you've won. They're not interested in any of that. They don't care. You can talk about that later. Right now, tell me talking about me and tell me about my problems. Okay. So we're talking about stuff that matters most, you know. And what's a hot button? Well, it's an important and relevant issue to them. An important and relevant issue to them. It gives you the ability to non-manipulatively, you know, it gives you the ability to sort of insert the right pin in the right place at the right time and get the prospect leaning in towards you to hear more about what you've got to say. So there's 2 ways we can go. It's a really early delete or it's a lean in, I want to hear more. And if you do it right, yeah, like I said, number 3 is push hot buttons. We're going to talk about the things that matter most to them and what prospects can't get enough of. About them and how to overcome their problems, okay? Just as a side issue, guys, I want you to write this down. The most important words in any marketing, not just email, but any marketing, are the words you, Y-O-U, your, Y-O-U-R, and you are, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. They're the 3 most important words, you, your, and you are, as opposed to I, we, and us. I want those words to be used on a ratio of 5 to 1. Sometimes you need to link things by talking about you or your business. It should be on a ratio of 5 to 1. 5 you, your, or you are's, as opposed to 1 I, we, or us. Okay, and if you get that right, if you get that sort of ratio right, I think you're going to be on a pretty good pathway. Like I said, guys, I'm just breezing through this. I'm just going to pause just for a second. Any questions, guys? Have you got any questions so far? Anything I've said that you've got any questions? Anything you're not sure of? Anything I haven't explained clearly, which I'm doing? I'll just give you 5 seconds to type into the question box if you want to ask a question or clarify anything I've said thus far. Any questions there, guys? I think we're sweet. Not too confusing yet, hopefully. Yeah. All right, good. Okay, so that's cool. So it looks like we're on track. Okay, so that was number 3. Let's push some hot buttons. Number 4. We need to, once we push those hot buttons, we're going to pique their interest. We're going to pique their curiosity. Okay, this is the sort of the heart of your prospecting email. This is the body of it. If we screw up here, we're deleted for sure. So if we get past the gatekeeper, which is the subject line and the first sentence basically, if we get past that, and if we screw this piece up, the body, we're gone. It's all over. Okay, so this is where we show them why they should be talking to you, or at least listening to you. Okay, and remember, it's all about how you can improve things for them, improve their current status quo. What you want to try and achieve in an email to a client, if you're trying to pique their interest, we want a healthy level of dissatisfaction. Okay, just jot that down, guys. We want them to be a little bit dissatisfied about where they're at. Okay, not an unhealthy level of dissatisfaction, but just a healthy level, because a healthy level of dissatisfaction is kind of why a lot of you guys join coaching club. Hey, I've got my business, it's really, really good. I'm kind of happy with a fair bit of it, but there's a lot of things I want to do better. I've got a healthy discontent for my current situation, and I want to know more. I want to do something about it. So that's what we want to pique with your guys. We want to pique the curiosity. I'm discontent with what I've got. I want to know more. I need to know more. Okay, it's all about why they should be talking to you. If you use these three approaches to sort of generate a high level of interest. And what I would do here, this is really at some point here, this is where your magnetic message comes into it. Remember that? You know, at some point in the body of your email, we want to talk about who do you help. Remember the person. You know, what problems you solve, and the promise that you make. So remember the person, problem, promise. That's the magnetic message. I help this person, so you know, we work with, or we specialize with this person in solving these problems, and this is how we do it. This is the promise. This is the solution that we have. So your magnetic message has got a fair bit to do with this this sort of body piece, this piquing curiosity piece. Hey, that sounds like me, and I've got that problem, and that's the solution I've always been looking for, but I've never found before. Hey, you've got that. I need to know more, and that's all we want. I just need to know more. Okay, tell me more. Right, so that's number 4. Number 4 is to pique curiosity from your prospects. So number 1, so once we've mastered the basics, we've established credibility, we've pushed the right hot buttons in the right way at the right time, we've piqued their interest, we've got them leaning towards us, wanting to know a bit more. Slides there, sorry. The next thing we want to do, we've got to stop it from being boring, right? We've got to stop it from being repetitive, because the reality is you're not just going to send one email to someone, they're going to say, hey, you know, you may need to send more than one thing to them. So you can't keep sending the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's going to get bored. You're going to get, they're going to tune out and they won't listen. So what we've got to do, we've got to mix up your writing styles. So we mix up your writing styles. We've got to have multiple different ways to talk about the same thing differently. So we've got to mix and match. Okay, ways to talk about them and their biggest wants and their biggest desires in multiple different ways. So same topic, but we do it in a different style. We come from different angles. So if we're mixing up the writing styles, just like here on the screen, we've got what have we got? We've got a mouse, we've got a caterpillar, and I think we've got is it octopus or a squid or something like that. So it's an animal, but it's done in 3 different ways. It keeps it new, it keeps it interesting every single time without fail. Okay, we can spin that twister wheel, and sure, we've got our topics, but we can spin things around in different ways, and we can choose ways to keep people interested, keep people engaged, and keep people wanting a bit more. I'm interested in that topic, but I'm hearing it in a different angle. Well, I'm still interested. I still want to know more because you're coming at it from a different way. And in a minute, I'm going to walk you through some bits and pieces. I'm going to show you, and hopefully we get time. I think we will get time. I'm going to show you 7 different ways that you can mix and match what you're doing. And you know, don't worry, guys. I'll show you how to do this. I'm going to walk you all through it. Don't worry, little baby birds. I will give you exactly how to do it, and I'll give you the worksheet to do this and make it really simple for you. In fact, there's 7 different ways to talk about the same thing differently. So things never get stale, they never get boring, they never, ever, ever get deleted. Okay? That's what we're going to do in just a minute. All right, guys, so from those 5 things, so mastering the basics, so establishing credibility, pushing hot buttons, piquing their interest, and also mixing up the writing styles, what have you learned so far? What have you sort of thought about that maybe you need to do a little bit differently? What's been most valuable for you so far? You know, you've sent emails before, they haven't worked, they've got no response, you've tried various ways, but nothing's worked the way you wanted it to work. So from what you've just heard, out of those 5 keys, what's been most useful for you so far? What have you learned that you maybe need to do better or do differently? Mastering the basics, establishing credibility in your emails really early, pushing the right hot buttons, so you're talking about the relevant things to them in their world, piquing their interest, getting them to lean towards you, and mixing up your different writing styles so it's not stale and boring. What do you need to improve the most? I'd love to know from you. So just do me a favour, type into the question box for me what's been most valuable for you so far. What have you learned? What have you noticed? What would you like to share? If I could just make my question. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'd love to know from you, what would you like to do differently? What have you learnt that sort of got your interest today? So type into the question box. I want everyone to play the game with me. Nigel says, think first, write second. Yeah, exactly. I think the thinking is the hard part, guys. The thinking's the hard part. And if we were writing and thinking, we're kind of writing and editing at the same time. That's the issue there. So, you know, when you're writing, you're also trying to edit, and it's too hard. So I talk about vomiting and regurgitating, and yeah, just get stuff out of you. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be spelt right. All the rest of it, it can be polished up later. So it's vomit, regurgitate, and polish. Okay, get it out of your head. It doesn't have to be right. So when you're writing and you're thinking, which is editing, it's too hard and it stops your flow. Okay, so you know, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't sound right. We just get it out of us and then we can tweak it up later. So really cool. Establishing credibility early in the email. Yeah, great, Steve. Absolutely. Increasing curiosity. Who, what problems, what promises. Paul, thank you. Remember to address person, problem, promise every time without fail, guys, because if you're not addressing the person, the problem, the promise, you're addressing the stuff that you're interested in or the stuff that you're excited about, and guess what? They're not. So, yeah, absolutely. Pushing hot buttons, mastering the 4 forces, absolutely, piquing curiosity. We did a little bit of that yesterday, guys. Focusing on them and the 5-1 ratio. Thanks, Aaron. Bruce, thank you there. What else we got? Mike says, thinking first, writing second. I need to put this into action. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. Start with the problems and the goals of my market. Absolutely. Start with the 4 forces worksheet. Every time, guys, that's what you need to do. You need to start with if you want to send something out or anything to do with marketing, all roads lead to Rome. Start with start with the 4 forces for sure. Angela says, varying my writing styles to keep things fresh. Yeah, great. Good for you, Angela. It's really, really good. And it's better for you, but it's also better for the audience as well. You know, they enjoy it more. They like your stuff, and they're actually starting to salivate. And if you can get to this point where people actually miss it when you don't send an email. So if you're sending something monthly out, so let's say you send something 10 times a year out as your sort of blog or your email blog or whatever it happens to be, you know it's really working when people say, hey, I didn't get my email this month. That's when you know it's working. So it keeps it fresh for you, but it also keeps it fresh for them as well, and that's really, really important here. Okay, really cool. Yeah, got that. Giving people stuff they can't get and delivering it in different ways. Absolutely, yeah, that's right. Keep it first step. That's the first step, basically. Give them what they want, but because if we can't get past first base, we're going to get struck out for sure. All right, cool, guys. All right, so what I want to do right now, I want to just change channel a little bit here, and what I'd love to do is I want to work on I'm going to bring my iPad up on the screen, and I'm trying a new little trick here. So I've learned how to get my worksheets up onto the iPad, which is pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. Let's just hope all goes to plan. So, guys, so I'd love you to just grab your worksheet right now. It should look something like what you see here. So this is the email marketing content framework. Okay, and we're going to walk through that. I'm going to walk you through those 5 things, and we're going to go into a whole heap more detail than what we've had right now. So there's 3 things that you need to focus on here. Sorry, I'll just get rid of that. I want you to be bigger. I'm just going to move it down to the side. So up in the top right corner, we've already written this down, but I'm going to do this again. So at the first column here on the left-hand side, we're going to go down in columns, guys, from the left to right. So we're going to master the basics. Okay, so that's the first part here. Master the basics. And there's 3 things that we're going to think about before we even start to craft your message. Number 1, we're going to think about the length of your email. Okay, so you know we want to keep your prospecting if we can to under sort of 90 words or so, especially in the early stages. Not every single time, but in the early stages of engagement with people, we want to keep it short, sharp, sweet, and straight to the point. Short is nearly always better when you're dealing with new prospects. You can be a bit more flexible with people who you already know, but 90 words if you can right at the start. So often when you're doing a campaign, you might start off with a heads-up email. And the heads-up email is really short and sharp, and it's just letting people know to look out for something that's coming in the next few days. But that way you can actually keep it short and sharp. You know, everyone's crazy busy, right, guys? So remember, lots and lots of people are reading your messages, and they're reading your messages in their preview screens on their mobile devices, on their iPads or their tablets, and they only see the first little bit. They only see the first third of a decent-sized email. So they haven't got time to stop and read, and especially if it's your first contact or the first couple of contacts. And not only that, people hate scrolling down, and worse than that, they hate rambling messages, especially if they're not engaged with you yet. So again, just a caveat here, guys. Once they're engaged, things can be a little bit different because you've earned the right to do that. You're now talking like a king. But in the initial stages, it needs to be really, really urgent, really, really easy for them. And we've got to get to the point really, really quickly and get to the important bits. And what's the important bits again, guys? The important bits are the prospect and their problems. Okay, so the important bits really early in the piece are the prospect and their problem. The second thing to think about is the look of your email. Okay, so often we want just simple text. You know, black and white is often good. Early in the piece, simple black and white text. You don't need the elaborate headers. You don't need the elaborate backgrounds. Now, what you'll be finding is with our emails here from Blackwing, now we're actually starting to get into the graphics and the design side of sending emails. But we've built a relationship over sort of 18 months or so. People have been getting our emails for a long time. We're actually starting to put more visuals and stuff into ours as well. But when you're at the starting point, building this relationship, mastering the basics, in other words, you know, if you've got fancy templates, you know, save them for your friends or your family, or you know, when you know them a bit better. Like I said, you know, you want things to be on brand a little bit further down the track. Okay, in the early stages, but it's a little bit like whiskers on a cat. Okay, and people are a little bit wary of that up front. Okay, so just be really smart with how you use your logos, and definitely avoid sort of coloured fonts and stuff like that as well. You know, logos and colour, especially red, they catch the eye of spam blockers. Okay, so be really conscious of how much red. If you put any text in red, you know, it's probably a no, don't do that. Okay, so that's cool. So we've got to master sorry, what I actually should have done there, guys, that was actually down here. So that look is in here. Sorry, guys, I need to do that. So that second one is look. And the third one we've got to think about is links. Okay, so it's what links you put in there. So if you've got something that you want them to download, or some sort of good resource that you got on your website, and you want to drive them to you drive your prospects to your website, only use one, maybe two. Maybe you might put a second link in the footer in the early stages. People sort of look at one link, and really what you want to do, you only want to give them one link to one thing. Send them to one place. If you give them a choice to come and book a strategy session with you on your online booking system, and you've also got a link to a lead man. I think I spoke to one of the guys on the coaching call the other week. If there's two choices, if they've got to choose, they won't choose. They won't do any. Okay, so if you've got links, you want the links in your page to go to one thing, one lead magnet. Book an appointment now. Come to a workshop. Come to a seminar. That sort of thing. People look at one, but once there's two things to choose from, they get into overwhelm. They get confused and they just don't do anything. So you want to correlate. What you want to do, guys, is you want to correlate all your resources, or your lead magnets, your white papers, your cheat sheets, your checklists. You want to put it all together in one spot, maybe in one folder. Save them in a folder somewhere, and then just drip feed them out over time. So don't resist the urge to offer people this, and we did this, and we've got this new thing here. Here's this one email, and I want you to do these three things, because people will just get overwhelmed. It will just become too hard for them. Okay. So I'm just going to tidy this up because I'm not happy with how that's looking. So I'm going to rub that out, use my eraser. So we want the length. We want the length. The length, the look, and just be conscious of the links that you're using. Okay. So number two, what we need to do now is we talked about it before, didn't we? We want to establish credibility. Okay, we want to establish credibility. And by that, what I mean by that is that there's a few things we've got to do here. In the very first sentence of your message, you've got to show them that you're worth listening to. All right. There's a couple of things you can do. Right. So what you might do, maybe it's about some sort of reference material. Just jot this into your worksheet, guys. I hope everyone's sort of drawing along with me here. Material. Okay, so reference material. So if you've got something like some social proof, if you can make your first sentence, you can sort of make your first sentence even more powerful by talking about some, the issues behind it. So if you've got a referral for even, so reference a referral. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about there. If you've got a referral someone's spoken to, you've spoken to someone and they've mentioned their name or something like that. It helps out when in the opening. It sort of opens the door a little bit because someone's referred you, and it's really really easy. Hey, hey friend, hey colleague, your friend or your next door neighbour or your colleague Maria, it's hey John, it's Steve here from Southern Financial. I hope you're well. I've been doing some work with your friend or your colleague or your next door neighbour Maria, and she asked me to touch base with you. Okay, that sort of thing. You've opened it up because you've referenced someone else. You've referenced a referral. She mentioned that she was really happy with the work we did with her retirement planning or the tax planning, cash flow work that we did together, and she thought there might be some value for you as well. I just thought I'd touch base and introduce myself. Would you be open to getting together to see if or how I can help? Just let me know, Steve, that sort of thing. So that's a really good way to sort of establish some credibility if you've got someone saying, hey, here, ring this person, or email this person, or touch base with this person. So that's one way to do it, reference material, and also in particular we're talking about referrals, if you've got one. Okay. Number two, the second thing you can look at is show you've done your homework. Do some homework. Do some homework before the event, especially if it's small business people. We used to do a lot of work with small business people, and I just think they're a really, really good market because they're mums and dads with this whole other layer of need. So so we show that we've done a little bit of homework. So you might mention something specific about that's something you found on their website. If they're in business, say something about the other people that you work with like them. So other chiropractors, other specialists, other plumbers, other electricians, whatever it happens to be, other engineering firms. People in their position. Other senior managers, other CEOs, other high-end professionals. And talk to them a little bit about your knowledge that you understand their key challenges and what they are, the things that they're facing day to day. You might say something about other companies that you work with that are like theirs as well. It might be especially if you're talking about like succession planning or tax or risk or superannuation rollover relief. I've worked with companies like this before. We've done a lot of work in helping transition out of the business, selling and talking about capital gains tax implications and stuff like that. We've sort of done this work before. We've done a lot of intergenerational wealth transfer before. We've done a lot of insurance, insurance review on people in this industry, that sort of thing. So anything like that is going to help you get some credibility in their eyes. So really, really important that we do that. At least, it's not only that, it might not be so much about the credibility, but it's a little bit less likely that they're going to click away. And I think that's or hit delete. That's probably the main thing there. Okay, so that's number two. So reference your referrals. Show that you've done a little bit of homework. But number three, the other thing you might do is mention a trigger event. Trigger event. So we're just trying to have some sort of common thread here. We're trying to get into some sort of common thread. That's the name of the game that we're talking here right now. So some sort of trigger event. Okay, so if something's recently happened to their company or in their division in their company or in their industry or something in the world is impacting them, something that's happened in the financial planning land that you think you need to let them know about, bring that topic up and tie it in with as the reason for your email. You could write, hey John, I read this article about, I read an article or your article if they've put it in. That they've had an article. I've read an article in the Business Journal, in the local Business Journal, and I see that you guys are expanding and you're bringing new people to handle that growth. Well done, awesome work. Or you can, so you read something in your local paper, let's say, about this business that's growing and they're expanding, and you want to let them know that you've read it and it's a trigger event for them. They're expanding. They may need to talk to you about something. You want to congratulate them, let them know what a good job they're doing. But also that you could be there to help. You might be able to offer some suggestions about how to handle that growth, or with new growth comes new employees, and they're all going to need advice, or they might want to add some things that might have them be seen as an employer of choice. So that's where your financial planning advice could be coming in to their business as part of their value proposition or their offering for these new people. These sort of things, or something like in our industry, things change, super changes, legislation change. Hey, with the recent super changes or the legislation that's just about to change, it's coming up really, really soon. And most self-employed chiropractors, most of the self-employed chiropractors that I talk to, they're struggling to figure out what to do with this thing. Okay, so that's all we need to do. So just let them know that there's this thing coming up. It's imminent. It's looming. The clock's ticking. The train's leaving the station. They need to get on board. And you're there to help. You understand that you work with people in that industry. You've done it before, and you specialise in that area. And this is all about building up your authority in that marketplace as well. So these are trigger events that you might be able to do it. So you need to sort of do it in 1 or 2 sentences. So you notice how these are pretty short. And I've got to the point fairly quickly. You need to do it fairly short, fairly sharp, and really quickly. You can't rattle on about it you probably can't go back and overview the reasoning behind the proposed legislation changes before you get them interested, okay? You've probably got to talk about that right up first. If you want to put a little bit of post-amble as opposed to preamble in the email, maybe you can do that, but maybe not in the early stages as well. All right, so I know it's hard, guys. You've got to try and just trim it back. Cut out the fluff, cut out the stuff that you're interested in, cut out the stuff that you need to know because you're required to by compliance law and your dealer group says that you need to know. They don't need to know all of that if you're trying to make contact with them in an email. Okay? Cut it all out, trim it, strip it. You don't need it. Edit everything. I know it's hard. You just need to edit your messages so that it only includes the stuff that's important to them. Guys, please, can you just jot that down somewhere? Trim it, edit it, so that it only includes what's important to them. I think that's a critical and it's probably a pretty good way of putting that message across. Okay. If you don't get straight to the point, guys, what's going to happen is your prospects they're simply going to delete you. It's as simple as that. They just won't read it. Okay. Also, so a lot of mobile phones and a lot of devices, they only show the first sentence or two, remember, and so it's really, really critical. It's crucial that the sentence be relevant and credible right up front. So, are you getting this, guys? I just want to raise your. I'm going to clear the raise your hand button. Guys, is this making sense? Are you getting this so far? I just want to make sure that this is landing with you and are these things valuable. Just let me know if you're getting value. Just type in the word value or just let me know is this helping so far? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get you to think a little bit differently about the way we send out our emails. Okay, and we're going to I'm going to give you an actual framework shortly. Yeah, good. Andrew says, walloo. Not sure what that means exactly. I'm hoping that's Yahoo, but it may be misspelled. Okay, great. So there's heaps of hands up. Plenty of comments. Thank you. Sharpen your focus. Absolutely right, for sure. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Andrew. All right, cool. So, guys, this is really good. It's yeah, that's good so far. All right, so I think that's enough on that. All right, next on this list here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the top. Next thing we want to do, like I said before, we need to push hot buttons. We need to push hot buttons. Okay, and really what you've got to do. So the things that we want to do when we're pushing hot buttons, there's 3 main things that I think about. I think about how can I create a reaction. Now that reaction could be positive. Oh, hang on. Better spell that right first. Create a reaction. Okay, so it could be positive, it could be negative. It could be a little bit of squirming in their seat and getting that little bit of discomfort. It could mean a little bit of undie-tightening for them. Something that they don't really want to do, but they know they need to do it. So what I'm often trying to get to is I'm trying to get to their known unspoken in this sort of first line of their email. The stuff that they know about but they never speak about that's going to make them a little bit uncomfortable, but they've got to do it anyway. It's got to be said, it's got to be done and brought to the fore. So that's the sort of thing we want. So we want to get a reaction, number 1. Number 2, we want to get a response. That's the second part. Get a response. Okay, we need to have a really positive call to action. I'll talk about that in a moment, but we need to have a way for them to say, okay, yes, I get that. That's important to me, and in fact, that's specific to me. I understand this. This is an issue. It's a challenge. It's a problem I'm facing right now, and I need to do something about it. And this person who sent me this email, the first person that's ever asked me about this question that I've needed to do something about for a long period of time, but I've stuck my head in the sand and done nothing. They've actually given me a really easy, simple way for me to just start the process. I don't have to physically do anything just yet, but I don't have to go into a scary financial planner meeting or somewhere where I've got to do work, but they've just given me an easy way. They've given me a lead magnet, something for me to read and digest really quickly. They've offered me an opportunity to correspond with them on the email. they've said, I've got the choice now if I want to make an appointment, so they've given me a link to their diary so I can pick and choose what time I want. So there's some sort of response. Maybe at the end of your email you ask a question and get them to respond with you that way, just like I ask you guys questions like that. So ask them a question and just get a response. We're just trying to elicit some sort of response, so in the pushing hot buttons. So again, we're trying to create a reaction, we're trying to get a response, but thirdly, what we're trying to do, we want to make sure that it's make it specific. Make it specific to them, I'd say. Okay, these hot buttons have got to be absolutely specific, and guys, it's so simple, and I keep coming back to it. The way to do that is to do the 4 forces exercise. I'm sending this letter, even if it's individually. If you want to just send an email to a person that you haven't been able to get over the line, or you've been trying to get them to make contact with you or touch base with you and you can't get them to do it, even if it's just for one person, you don't need to get the worksheet out, just do it on a piece of paper. Just do a quick 4 forces exercise. Figure out what that person's frustrations and fears are, figure out what their wants and aspirations are, and just plop it into an email. And I'll give you the framework for the email in a second. Okay? So that's the sort of thing we want. So push hot buttons. We want to create a reaction, we want to get a response, and we want to make it specific to them. And when you do that, you're going to get a lot better response rate. Okay, number 4, we talked about piquing curiosity. So it's P-I-Q-U-E. Pique curiosity. So we want to pique their curiosity. We want to get them interested. We want to get them peeking over the edge of the fence. We want to let they want to look into our backyard, and we want to make it easy for them to do that. We want to put a couple of steps over their side so they can peek over the fence and see what we've got. So, and again here, this is where I'd sort of share. This is the part, this is the sort of body of the email. You know, this is where I'd be sharing, like I said before, the magnetic message or the $1 million message. Okay, so make sure you do it so that it relates to them personally, so how your awesomeness might be good for them. Okay, so I'll just write in here, I'll call it magnetic message. I call it $1 million message behind the scenes, but for you guys I think I'll have to stick with magnetic message. You know, like we did the other week, you know, we help successful self-employed electricians with not enough super, poor cash flow, and who pay too much tax to boost their retirement savings, improve their cash flow, and pay less tax to set themselves up for a quality lifestyle and a comfortable retirement. So partway through, we've got their attention, we've pushed their hot buttons, we've shown them that we've got something that's for them, and we've got something available, like a lead magnet or a workshop or a webinar or come in for a strategy session. And then we flip it around. You know, we help these people. I help busy, successful CEOs and professionals who struggle because they want to pay off their debts quicker. They pay more. They feel like they're paying more than their fair share of tax, and they want to leave a lasting legacy for their family and their loved ones. You know, that's the sort of place. Okay, this is who I help. This is the problems we solve, and this is the solution that we give them. Okay, we do it by doing this or do that. Okay, so we want to create that magnetic message. It's another one. You could say something like, you know, if you're a busy GP and you don't have a strategy to consistently reduce your tax, you want more ideas on how to get more money into your super without it affecting your cash flow, and if you you know that your insurances, they should be structured better, or they should be structured in, you know, more efficiently, but you don't have the time or the inclination to make the changes you need. You know, so what's that? That's the person, and that's their problems. You know, we show people like you, just like you, how to make the most of really clever tax strategies, help you get more money into your super, and finally set up your important financial structures once and for all, so that you can have the lifestyle, the retirement, and the financial peace of mind that you deserve. Okay, a really good magnetic message. This is who I help. This is the person that I help. This is the problems that we work on, and this is the promise that we make. Make it really, really cool for you. So that's the sort of thing you want to put in there, and it's all about them. Remember, there's nothing about us. You know, this is what we do for you. This is the way we do this for you, and this is what you get out of it at the end. Okay, so really cool. You know, the magnetic message, I think we're all clear on that. We did that a couple of weeks ago. And guys, in their mind, they're going to be saying, wow, you know, well, how do you do that? I want to know more. And then you can tell a story, even in your opening image, you can tell a story about how you've helped someone just like them, a case study of a client that you've worked with. You know, a story about someone just like them, him or her, whoever it happens to be, That's how I do it. I tell a case study there. The way we do that is this. Just like our clients, Fred. He was a chiropractor, self-employed chiropractor, just like you. He was 10 years out from retirement. He wanted to move out of retirement, but he just didn't know how. He didn't know whether he would have enough money. He didn't know how to do it from a physical point of view. He didn't know how to minimise his tax, and he was confused, lost, so he decided to do nothing for many, many years. And then he met us. And what we did was this, and this, and we worked through this, and this. Now look at him. He retired 3 years earlier. We saved him $28,000 in tax, and he just didn't realise he would be able to pay. He would be able to save. He travels once a year, and blah blah, and his life's going amazing, simply from the work that we do, and that's what we want to do for you. We want to help you do that as well. Just paint a picture, tell a story. All right, number two, the second thing we want to do in here, in piquing their interest, we want to give some ideas. Give them ideas. Give them a few ideas. Give them something to think about. Like I'm kind of doing that a little bit now. I'm telling them the story. I'm giving them some things to think about. There's nothing more tempting to busy, overworked people than an outsider, some person that they don't know, who's come in and built some rapport and piqued my curiosity and talking to me like a king and got my attention really early and pushing the right hot buttons. There's nothing quite like someone saying, hey, I've got some ideas for you. I can help you get closer to what you want to get to. I can help you get closer to your dreams and goals, and it's really simple and easy. All you've got to do is just click this button or reply to this email or do something really simple and easy, that sort of thing. Again, if you've ever worked with other people in similar businesses, you're right. I know that one of the primary results that most engineering firms, most of my engineering clients want, let's say, the engineering clients that I work with, I know that one of their main pain points is, how to get more money into their super, but at the same time maintain the quality of lifestyle that they've got along the way. I've got a whole heap of ideas around that subject that might be useful for you. Would you like to know more? Or would you like to have a coffee and chat about it? Or would you like my 5-point guide? That sort of thing. So we bring them in. If it's an engineering firm, we work with others. And I've got a pretty good handle on engineering firms. And I've got some good ideas and strategies that we show our top engineering clients to make things better in their life. Okay, so we want to give them a few ideas. Either give them some ideas or let them know that you've got some ideas. That's probably another way to think about that as well. Let them know that you've got it. You've got it going on. And to get the ideas, they've got to interact with you. And then probably the last thing there, I'd probably also want to offer I want to maybe offer invaluable information. And I'll just sort of touch on it there, information. And I'm just going to write in here education-based as well. I think I need to say education-based. A lot of this is what's called education-based marketing. Here's the person, here's the problem, here's the promise. If you want to know, download this guide, come to this workshop, come to our seminar, come to our private client briefing, and we're going to educate you about learning how to do it or teaching you more. Or come to a one-on-one strategy session with me where we'll work through the 5 key areas that pharmacists need to know about in blah, 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 that sort of thing. So, again, they're frazzled prospect, they're frazzled, they're tired, they're busy, they're overloaded, they're overwhelmed. They need your help. They need you to help them get things done quickly. And if you've got resources that you can give them where they go, well, they're interested and they want to know more, your website might have a lead magnet, might have white papers, case studies, interviews that you've done with existing clients, ROI calculators, cash flow calculators, how-to guides, useful and valuable information. So just simply click this link to download the blah. And once you've got that, you then got an opportunity to get in conversation with them. Hey, John, thanks for downloading the blah, blah, blah guide last week. How did you find it? Have you got any questions? Would you like some help walking through it? That sort of thing. At least you can get into communication. You can take it offline and you can get into a one-on-one communication with them. And that's what we want. Okay. You might be offering workshops or, like I said, webinars or seminars or other sort of events that are educational. But you want to, these things, all of this stuff that I'm talking about here, it also positions you as an authority in that field as well. When you're talking specifically about them and their marketplace, it sets you up as an authority. So remember, probably remember their authorities talk to groups. Guys, I just want you to be clear. So authorities in pretty much any field, anywhere, talk to groups of people. So if you're not talking to groups of people, it's pretty hard to be seen as an actual authority. So and I think one of the things that everyone in this call needs to do, we need to be positioned as an expert and authority. So therefore, we need to find ways to get in front of larger numbers of people, and yeah, that might be something you need to think about as well. Okay. So you might say, like I said, all the pharmacists that I work with, they're struggling with ABC, XYZ, and 1, 2, 3. That's why I prepared the 7-point checklist on blah, blah, blah topic. Okay, so all the people just like you are struggling with this frustration, this frustration, this frustration, and it's causing them to fear this. That's why we made the effort to put together a 7-point checklist called the da-da-da-da-da. It'll be perfect for you if you want this want, the second want, the third want, and the aspiration. If you'd like a copy, just grab it from here. Just click this link and you can have one straight away. That sort of thing. So so far, guys, in none of this, there's not a single word about your exciting product offering or your insurance policies that you sell, your service, your cutting-edge technology, how smart you are, how much accreditation you are, what awards you've won. There's none of it. I haven't mentioned anything about that at all, by the way. I just want you to be clear on that. I want you to notice that. Not one word, nada, niente, nothing, okay? Because when you focus on you or focus on any of those things, or anything slips into it without without you even meaning it, you run the risk of deletion, and that's what we want to avoid at all costs. Okay, because when you're focused on that, it's about you and not them, and that's not what we want. Okay, so number 5. So the last one here on this side, we've talked about we want to mix up the writing styles. So mixed writing styles. Mixed writing styles. So, what we're talking about here, it's basically we need to do 3 things basically. We need to keep it fresh, number 1. Keep it fresh. So if we want to take a month, so I've talked to you about before in our runway session in December, we talked about choosing a quarterly theme and having, say, 3 blogs, 1 monthly blog every month, and then a couple of emails or a couple of LinkedIn messages in between about a particular topic. So you might say, the first quarter's topic I want to be on transition and retirement. So you might want to do a monthly blog about transition and retirement. You might want to put a couple of Facebook and LinkedIn posts in between those posts, all about transition and retirement. So we've got to think of ways and come up with ways to keep it fresh, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to do that in a minute, different styles. So number 1, keep it fresh. Number 2, we want to keep it interesting. Otherwise, they're going to turn out interesting. Otherwise, they're going to turn out. They're going to delete. They're going to tune out from you. They're going to move away. And the last thing we want to do, we want to create some vibrancy. Have a bit of personality to it, guys. I'm reading a lot of the guys that have got these automated programs now. There's a few tools that you can buy that you add to your website, and there's messages and all that. But they're very, very, very. I don't know. They're just written in such financial planner language, and I'm just hoping that the people out there aren't getting to, I don't know. I just don't feel that they're vibrant. They're technical. They're kind of boring. They're in the old-fashioned 1980s financial planner type messages, and I just hope that people are actually interacting, and people are getting appointments from those programs where they do all that. They give you those like a bank of different things that you can send out, or different things that people can click on and stuff like that. I'm just not sure that they've created the vibrancy that they need. Nothing wrong with them. It's probably good to have, but I just wish they'd just lighten up and help you put some of your personality or some actual, pardon me, some actual personality into it. Even if it's not yours, just put some personality into some of those emails. I think that would be really important. All right, guys, so let's just summarize here quickly for a minute. We want to master the basics. We want to make sure that it's not too long, especially in the initial phases. Make sure it's pretty basic, not too flashy, not too many logos and branding and colors. And we want to be conscious about the links that we put on there. Next, we need to establish credibility. So we want to reference, pardon me, guys. I'm just going to we need to have some sort of reference materials. In particular, referencing referrals is a good way to go there. Make sure you've done your homework, especially if you're targeting small businesses, and often you can speak about a trigger event to establish credibility. Hey, he knows about that thing in my industry. He knows he's on top of that rule, the law change that I saw on the news the other night. He's on top of it and he's proactive towards me. Fantastic. Third thing we need to do is we want to push hot buttons. So we want to create a reaction. We want to get some sort of response, a positive or negative response. Either way, a positive or negative reaction, we want them to squirm a little bit, get a response to you and make it specific to them. Every one of those hot buttons is going to be about them. We're going to pick curiosity, and then we're going to mix up the writing styles, keep things fresh, keep it interesting, and we're going to create some vibrancy. Make it interesting, in other words. So guys, what I wanted to show you, I used a framework a little while ago. I'm just going to move that one. Move. So guys, I hope you got all of that down, and I hope it makes sense to you. I'll give you a chance to ask questions in a minute, but I just want to show you something that we did a little while ago. We just did a workshop, sorry, it was a webinar just the other week called The Profit Playbook, and a couple of the guys on the call actually were on our email list and actually came to that workshop, and they've actually become clients through that. So there's quite a few of you guys on the call that were in that email sequence. Now, ours was a little bit flashy because we built a bit of a relationship, but I basically just used this. I know it's weird, but I use this 9-box framework. Funnily enough, I used it. This is actually kind of a 10-box framework because it's got a little PS at the bottom. But this is what I kind of use. So this was the authority email template for our Profit Playbook webinar series. Okay? And I just chose my subject line. I just said, I'm just going to read through one of them. I won't go through them all, but I just want you to get the gist of what I did. And all I had was this. I had the 9 sentences, headings at the top. Startling statement, set the scene, tell the story, amp the importance, relate it back, make the offer. The offer was to come to our webinar, teach them how, give them comfort, and make it easy and have a call to action. And then I've got a strong PS at the bottom or another compelling reason. So that's what makes it 10, but it's actually 9 boxes. Just pretend it's 9, guys, because 9's my number. So guys, I said, hey, so subject line, have you ever wished you had a financial advisor playbook? So, startling statement. Hey guys, it's a bit of a weird question, right? So that was my startling statement. It's a bit of a weird question, right? But how many times have you thought, oh, if only I had all the moves, all the winning players, if I could just pull out, that I could just pull them out and run in my financial planning business when I needed them. So that's what I used as my startling statement, just to get their attention. Then I set the scene. So it's like, so I painted a picture, I told a story. So it's like a high-end sports coach. They've got hundreds of different moves, plays that they can run, and distinct tactics to counter any various situations during a high-pressure game, just like your financial planning business. But the very best coaches, well, they've got their pet half a dozen or so. They've got their go-to plays to get them out of trouble, help them overcome adversity, and get them ahead when times are tough, when it counts the most. So that was setting the scene. So I just sort of told a little story about getting them into that world. I sort of dragged people into that world. And then I tell the story. Well, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and all too often there's new challenges and changes that you have to defend that are keeping you in the back half of your business. And what I actually wrote in there, things like FOFA and Trowbridge and LIF and all of that. So I gave them a few examples of that are keeping us stuck in the back half of their business instead of being up the front. Now towards the goal line, and we're always defending our goal line, our touchdown zone. So then I amp the importance. Okay, your focus keeps getting dragged away from the X factor, the main aim of the game, all those proper activities, and you're getting dragged into the reactive, the survival, and frankly, the back-end crap that keeps you bogged down and not at your peak performance. Now, guys, guess what? I say words like back-end crap a lot in my life, in my world. It's me. It's authentic. It's just who I am. Now, some people are going to like that. Some people are not. But the reality is that's who I am. And that's what I'm talking about creating some vibrancy. Make it you. Make it sound like you. If you don't say things like that, don't say that. But I want you to put your personality into everything we talk about today. And you'll notice, guys, if anyone read this and they know me, it's me. No one would ever question who wrote this email because it's just like me talking. So that was my amping the importance. So instead of you doing all the reactive stuff and it's keeping you in the back end of your business. And then I related it back to them. So I've had heaps of advisors ask me for some quick ways and easy wins to get some quality new clients fast. So that you can get back into get back to doing what gets you pumped again, which is working with some great new clients. It's actually the next logical step in building an X Factor financial planning business. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's no good having all the fantastic technical skills and all that compliance stuff done if you've got no one to talk to. And that, again, I say that all the time. Why are you working on the back end when you've got no clients to talk to? We've got to get some clients in the door. Okay, so then I made the offer. So I spent last weekend putting together a pretty awesome training webinar to help you out. It's going to, just giving you a quick heads up. so you can lock in a bit of time aside and put it in your diary now. It's called the name, sexy name. Insert. So it's called the Financial Planner's Profit Playbook. The 6 key plays to create an X-Factor advice firm. I designed it the session specifically for avatars who are sick and tired of the noise, the disruption, innovation, legislation, compliance. Insert other word that's taking your eye off the main name of the game here, and want to get them back to attracting people. So these are the wants here. Attracting quality people, doing an amazing job for them, and being paid what they're worth professionally. So that's the wants, and aspiration. Being paid what they're worth professionally. Give them comfort. I'll walk you through. Don't worry. I'll make it easy for you. I'll walk you through what I believe are the most efficient framework to create an X-Factor financial planning business of the future. Drill down on 3 specific ways to help you get a few more of the ideal clients you want quickly. I love sharing these plays, these ideas. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about my avatar, and I think you'll thank me for it when it's all done. Okay, and I've had heaps of people tell me, hey, that was a great webinar. I've got lots out of it. Okay, so call to action. Remember, block out 90 minutes, Thursday the 19th of Feb. This time, it'll be the difference that could just turn your business around and get you back in the game where you should be. Talking to clients, register here, and another compelling reason to do it. Okay, so that was the first email. But see, all I've done, followed a 9-box framework. Startling statement, set the scene, told the story. I amped the importance, I related it back to them, and then I made them an offer. And all I did, guys, I just sat with a piece of paper and this blank framework with the headings, and I just wrote on a piece of paper. And in fact, Craig, you'll remember when we were up in Brizzy, I had to take off and go back to the room because Tanya, I forgot to actually get this email ready for Tanya, so I slipped back to the room, and by the time I left and saw you guys downstairs, if you remember this, Craig, that's what I was doing. This email here was what I was doing upstairs, and it took me, what was it, 20 minutes? 25 minutes, and I had it done, and I've met you, and I saw you guys downstairs. So yeah, that's how, and then I just taught them how, this is what I'm going to teach you, and this is how to do it. I gave them some comfort, this is what you're going to learn, and here's the call to action. I'm going to make it really simple. Here, just get it in your diary now. So that was the first email. Second email, I wish I had more of, insert ideal client type here, and I actually put that in the email heading. And then I just did the same thing again, startling statement, set the scene. Have you ever thought that? I get it a lot, Steve. I love what I do. I love what I do, but I'm not doing it with enough of the right type of clients. Well, the problem is that in financial planning business, when your client attraction and marketing systems aren't set up the way they should be, a few bad things happen. Number 1, guess what I'm doing here, guys? By the way, just type in for me what's this. So this, where I've got number 1, number 2, number 3. What am I just about to tell them? Okay, so just please type into the question box so I know you're with me. Number 1, you end up working with people who need you but don't necessarily want you. Number 2, that means that you need to push and use old-fashioned hard sell techniques to get them over the line. Number 3, what often happens is your meetings end up in a standoff situation. So what am I doing there, guys? Yeah, exactly. I just rattled off the 3 frustrations that I'd written down before I did this email. And then I told a story. It's like pencils at 10 paces. You need to justify everything you say and everything you do. You've got to overcome continual objections, excuses, and stalls. And you feel like everyone's increasingly skeptical about you, your business, and your solution. Have you ever had that before? Then I dragged them into that world. Okay, yeah, you got it all there. Heaps of people typing in. That's great. So yeah, 3 frustrations. Amped the importance, related it back to them, made the offer. Taught them how, gave them comfort, made it easy. As simple as that. Then I did another one for 3 emails. So I'm talking about the same things, different ways, okay? Different, coming from different angles. Hey guys, I met a really good financial planner. So I'm telling a story, a case study proof now. I met a really good financial planner a little while back. He hooked me up with a cash and client strategy call. We had a great call, but what we talked about really got up my goat. So this is what I'm going to do a rant now. So this is another style. I'm doing a rant here. See if this resonates with you. The guy was just like most financial planners I know. He works hard, he's honest, he's ethical, he always puts his clients first, passionate, caring, empathetic, all of those things. All the traits you'd expect from a quality financial planner, and probably just like you. Yeah, hey, that's me. I'm all of those things. I work hard, I'm honest, I'm ethical. I always put my clients first, I'm passionate, I'm caring. Hey, I'm in. That's me. You got my attention. You're talking about people just like me. The only issue was he just couldn't attract enough of the right new clients. His numbers were up and down like a roller coaster. Hey, my numbers are up and down like a roller coaster. He was trying everything he could, but he still wasn't getting enough clients. Hey, that's what I'm doing too. I'm trying everything I can, but I can't get the right clients. Yet everything a modern financial planner needs to do a great job, except for one thing, enough of the right people to talk to. Hey, that's me. I've got everything a modern financial planner needs, but I don't have enough clients. How did you know all this stuff, Steve? Well, I just did a 2.5-minute 4 forces exercise. So, guys, you get the gist here, guys. I just looked at the time. I didn't realise where we were at. You're getting the gist here, guys. Here's the framework, and there's another version. I'll just give you quickly. I'll show you how I did another version. And this one here, I offered a freebie. Instant appointment system template for financial planners. Hey there, John. Still undecided about whether to join me on the webinar? That's okay. Lots of financial planners tell me it took them a little bit of a while before they decided to take the leap, or at least check out what all the fuss is about. Anyway, I've got this habit of over-preparing for these sessions. I get excited when I create all this really good stuff, and I've done it again. So if you'd like, you can grab a copy of this freebie that I'm offering. I made it for the session, but I just won't be using it tomorrow. You can have it if you want. Just download here. There's no point it's sitting in my hard drive, right? So you can have it with my compliments. Just hit this link and download. When they hit the link and download, where do you think they go? Just type into the question box for you guys. When they hit the link to download this freebie that I'm offering, because I've done too many worksheets, where do they go? Type into the question box for me. Where do they go when they hit the link? They go to my website. They go to my opt-in page. They go to your landing page. Exactly. So they go to my website and they opt in for me, and then from there I can get into conversation. So even if they don't come to the webinar, I'm still in conversation with people, right? And just simply by offering something. Just grab it now, relate it back. It'll be great for you. Oh, by the way, don't forget we've got this webinar on tomorrow. It's going to rock. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to show you how to get you in demand. Anyway, if you want to come, just don't worry. It doesn't matter if you don't want to, but if you do, just click here, and we both know that you should be doing a better job. Okay, so that's the sort of the framework. So there's 4 or 5 different emails right there. But what I've actually done, guys, I built one for you. So if you've got 2 minutes, I know we're just on 11:30. I'm going to finish this off now. But dudes, I built one for you, guys. Would you guys like something like that? Just if you type in absolutely into the question box. If you'd like some sort of framework that's specifically designed for you in your business, would you like a framework and maybe some templates to go with it? Just type into the question box for me. Absolutely. Capital A, big A. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, heaps. Okay, all right, guys. So number 1, here it is. It's all in Word doc, so you can just type it up. I normally print it and write it and then get it typed up by JD or whatever. So it's all here. Startling statement, set the scenes, tell the story. And the importance. I'm going to relate it back to them, making them an offer. Teach them how, give them some comfort and make it easy, and then a strong call to action. But what I've done, I've given you that exact same framework which has worked incredibly well for me in the last couple of weeks, and this is one I used for a superannuation strategy, so I just tweaked it up. I've made it a little bit better than what I used a few years ago, and all you've got to do is just go through and tweak up the words to make them suit you for whatever you like, but you just got to replace things in yellow. So email, the important and critical thing, if you want to write, this could be webinar, this could be workshop, it could be seminar, it could be 5-point guide, it could be checklist, it could be cheat sheet. I've left it as webinar because I ran out of time to change it and put all those different options in. It's just your thing that you might want to offer them, right? So just replace that. Have you ever wished that you had an important and critical thing playbook, or whatever you want to call it? Hey, no, a bit of a weird question, blah, 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 all the same. That I could just pull out and run to boost my important area, my superannuation, or my cash flow, or my transition into retirement, or to fast track my retirement. You can just insert important and critical thing here. Set the sentence, just like a high-end sports coach. So I've left the analogy in here, so you can call your thing a playbook. Okay, you'll download a playbook. So I've left the sports analogy in there. I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and all too often there are new challenges and changes and setbacks in your financial or your retirement or your insurance or your business position that you need to defend and keep you in the back half of the game. Your focus keeps getting dragged away from the important area, so insert your important area, and planning for your future activities, frankly, they keep you in the back half of your game. That's why I've had a heap of insert avatar, so I've just said chiropractors there. So I've had a heap of farmers, I've had a heap of engineers, I've had a heap of plumbers, I've had a heap of medical professionals, I've had a heap of doctors asking me for some quick and easy wins to insert want, because you're going to do your little 4 forces exercise fast, so that they can focus on their aspiration again, which is which is insert thing that they most want and always dreamt of, which is exactly, you retiring early is exactly what you've always dreamt of. So we've got to think of some ways to get that done for you. It's the next logical step in building a very clear want and aspiration that matches what you've just said above in here. So I've just said here, you just go with my flow. It's the very next step in building a very clear want and aspiration that matches what we just said above in here. It's no good having something basic like a basic industry fund or superannuation all over the place, or 5 different insurance policies that you don't really know much about if you don't have the thing they really want here. If you don't have security in knowing they're going to work, or you're not 100% sure that the fees are as low as they can be, or you're not totally convinced that they're invested in the most ethical and best way you can. Whatever their want is here. So I've done a webinar, I've built a lead magnet, I've built a checklist, we're running a workshop called you insert the important and critical thing lead magnet webinar workshop. 6 key plays to create something cool that they deserve, right? So you guys just replace my words with your words. I designed it specifically for avatars like you who are sick and tired of rule changes, paperwork, confused in terminology, bad stuff in the media. Insert any other word that's taking your eye off the main game here to get you back to their main want, their second want, their third want, and their aspiration. Okay, so you just follow the flow, guys. Give them comfort. I'll be doing something awesome that they need here and some other thing that they want, but they can't feel like they can't get quickly right now. I love sharing these ideas. I'm passionate about helping my avatar, people like you, and I think you'll thank me for it at the end. It's on now, blah, 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 blah. So that sort of thing, number 1. Number 2, I've got a second follow-up. Hey, by the way, we're doing it again. Oh, I wish I had more of this thing. So it just runs through exactly the same as what we've done a minute ago. 3, 4 different emails that you can send, all about the same. You can pick your topic, and there's 4 different ways for you to send that email, that same topic in different angles. And all you do is just follow, replace the yellow and greys basically. And where there's still black here, guys, just so you know, you just choose which one you want to do. So I've left it black, and I'll put slashes in between. Just delete the ones that aren't relevant, or change it and add things that are relevant. Guys, valuable to you? I'd love to know. Would that be valuable to you if I flicked something like that out for you? I'd love to know. Just type me in yes or a V or something like that in the question box, just to let me know if that will help you guys build a world-class email campaign. I'd love to know. Yeah, great, guys. Thank you. Yes, please. Yeah, thank you so much. Send it now. Get it to me now. Yes. Okay. It'll be in the vault by this afternoon, guys. Really cool. Hey, guys, that was really fun. I've got to say, I'm really. I just want to make sure you get. I hope you get it here as well. So, guys, the reality is, guys, I just want you to know that if you do those 5 things, if you master the basics, pay attention to the little things and follow the format. Establish credibility, position yourself as an authority really, really quickly. Get it, go in with confidence and be a king talking to another king. It's really critical. Don't be frightened. You're as good as them. You're as good as anyone you're ever going to talk to. Be clear on that. So I want you to get 3. Number 3, get clear on your hot buttons so you know which ones to press at the right time. If we get their curiosity and we pet their interest, with relevant and timely information, and get them to want to know a bit more and lean towards you, get closer to you. And then we mix things up a bit. We come at things from different angles. So you'll find those 4 emails there, guys. It's 4 different angles. When you read them, you'll find it's the same topic, but there's 4 different angles that they come from. So to keep things, we mix things up and we communicate them with people so it's fresh and it's new and it's something different. And people want to reach out to you. When you do that, guys, you end up with, you're never sending, you're never sending anything that gets deleted. You're sending world-class emails. And people can't get enough of them. They notice when they miss one. It's fresh for you. You never run out of important things to say. And it's fresh for them because, they're not hearing the same thing over and over again. You build your credibility as someone to follow, someone they want to be around, and someone they want to hear from on a regular basis. And remember, they might not hit the button straight away. But at some point, one day, you're going to put something in front of them at the right time that's going to say, yes, I need that now. Thank you so much. All right, guys, love to know. I'm going to try this again. I tried it last week. I put this slide into the Facebook page, and I think I got 1 person that told me what they learnt, what they noticed, and what they shared. So, guys, in about 5 minutes, because we've run out of time now, guys, I'm sorry I've gone a little bit over, but I hope you got value out of that. Guys, in the Facebook page, you're going to see this image, and it's going to say, what did you learn, what did you notice, what did you see? And I'd love you to take 2 minutes. I'm going to go do it straight away so no one can say you took too long. Type into the question box for me, guys, what did you get and how would it impact you? How is it going to affect you? What did you learn from today? What did you notice? And if you were going to type in now, I want you to type that into the Facebook page. What did you learn? What did you notice? What did you want to share? All right, guys. Okay, let's call this webinar a wrap. But guys, hey, look, we've got another awesome session. We've got another conversion session coming in a fortnight's time. Now, just so you know, guys, it's actually going to be on the Thursday before I fly out, guys. So it's the Thursday before Easter because we've got Easter Friday is the next session. So I'm actually going to be doing it same time on Thursday. Tony, do you know the date just quickly? Tony's going to give me the date. So it's our next session's on the Friday in 2 weeks' time, but we're actually going to move it forward to Thursday because Friday's Easter Friday. So it's Thursday the 24th at 10 a.m. Perth time is our next session. And we're going to be doing, I've got an awesome session for you planned, guys. I can't wait to share this with you. I want to share with you a little trick, a little strategy I used. I had a huge amount of success with it when I got people, when I felt that people weren't actually, I had a client meeting and I didn't feel that they were actually getting their own pain. They weren't feeling it. If I wanted to get them to realize that they were nowhere near what they needed, but I didn't want to do it without having to push them into it or me telling them. I invented this thing called the Cosmo Quiz. Okay, now I probably didn't invent it, but I initiated it into financial planning. So I think I might be a bit of a trailblazer in the financial planning industry. I've done this thing called the Cosmo Quiz with my clients, and you've seen Cosmopolitan magazine, right? And it's one of the quiz is one of the most popular sections in there. It's actually usually it's the sealed section, and it's one of the most popular sections inside that Cosmopolitan magazine, where they ask you a series of questions and then you tally up the score, and that tells you, without a shadow of a doubt, whether you're okay down there, or whether your relationship's going to last a distance, or whatever the earth-shattering topic was that they were talking about, right? So they did this thing called the Cosmo Quiz, and I've turned that into financial planning, and I've had amazing results. If it's done right, it allows it allows your prospects to self-select. They realize their own shortfalls and their own shortcomings, and it has them saying, "Wow, look at my answers to these questions. Look at the questions about my money, or my cash flow, my super, my retirement, or my transition, or how I'm going to minimize my capital gains tax, or things like that. I need to fix this stuff now. I need to get a high score. I need to feel better about myself." So it fits in perfectly, just like a glove, just in the transition after the stretch the gap section. In that conversion conversation, it takes them from being comfortable to a place there where they realise they need to do some stuff without you personally having to tell them. They tell themselves because they get to do the quiz on themselves. So really cool, guys. It's a really cool little thing to have in your kit bag if you ever need it, and I'm going to teach it to you next time we get together. It's called the Cosmo Quiz, and I can't wait to share it with you next time. All right, guys, we're 12 minutes over. I'm sorry about that. Really humble apologies there. But, guys, hey, I've had fun. It's been really, really good. I hope you've got real value out of today's session. You learnt some new things, or maybe even just thinking about things that you knew already a little bit differently, guys. So, guys, let's call this session done. Take care. Stay awesome. Please interact with me and the rest of the guys inside the Facebook group. This recording will be up in the coaching club. In the training webinars inside the vault, hopefully this afternoon. Should be there. We'll let you know inside the Facebook group when we have. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great fortnight. If I don't talk to you, reach out if you've got any questions. And yeah, guys, we'll take care and we'll talk to you soon. Guys, I can stick around for a couple of minutes. If you've got any questions right now that you want to ask me about what we did today or anything like that, I'm happy to sort of stick on the line. So, guys, if you want to go, you want to take off, feel free to do that now. Stay awesome and have a great week. If you've got any questions or you want to got anything you wanted to comment about right now, I'm happy to do that for you right now. So take care, everyone. Stay awesome. And for those of you who've got to go, take care.